My latest project was in the field of educational AI for a startup based in the United States. As a delivery manager, I was part of each phase, starting from the sales pitch, moving on to analysis and design of the proof of concept, selecting the development team, and acting as a product owner for continuous delivery of the MVP. This project was tightly coupled with ChatGPT using its API for creating prompts and parsing the results into usable data for the application. For the deliverables of the A&D phase and later inputs into the development phase, I used a custom created project plan that consisted of a release plan, a roadmap, and a release strategy. There are many ways that this can be achieved. For example, for the release plan, I use a mix of Carl Wigner's relative weighting technique and the Kano model. This is done in close ongoing and iterative collaboration with the client. For the roadmap, I usually offer several approaches that we can achieve the goal, from highest value first roadmap to sequential development or parallel development between multiple teams. For the roadmap, I usually use the buffering technique of 50-90 with additional buffer for consolidation and integration if there are multiple teams. For effective handling of unforeseen obstacles, I usually use risk management techniques such as the risk matrix that I include in the bi-weekly sprint reports so that it is followed and updated regularly. For highest priority risks, I follow them with action plan, usually as a ticket in the following sprint backlog. I've used different types of reports. They are usually custom-made for the requirements of the client. I've done bi-weekly sprint reports, deployment reports, release notes, MOMs, and so on. As I mentioned, I partook of the pre-sales phase, so I've prepared RFQs and SOWs. I have a brief experience with working with compliance and regulatory documentation such as the GDPR. Also, for continuous development, I've used Jira and Azure DevOps for reporting and issue tracking, Confluence and Notion as a wiki and collaboration tools, as well as Office 365 and Google Docs for simpler projects. I was also part of an effort to optimize the delivery process, so I was assistant DevOps for a brief period and worked with Azure DevOps build and release pipelines for setting up and improving the existing CI/CD process. I worked with local and cloud servers for setting up build agents and managing all technology dependencies for uninterrupted continuous integration, delivery and deployment process such as Docker, relational and object-based databases, file servers, mail servers, and so on. During this period, I worked mostly with YAML and Java. I've worked as a Scrum Master along my role as a product owner for most of my projects. Although these two roles should not be taken by a single individual, in many scenarios where the project is brief or the team is small, that can happen. I have experience with Scrum, Kanban, and Extreme Programming, although XP is more a methodology where Scrum and Kanban are only frameworks. Therefore, I've used them as such. I have adapted Scrum to the requirements to the team, so sometimes it is pure Scrum and sometimes it's a mix of Waterfall and Scrum or Scrumfall, which I try to avoid, to be honest. Team collaboration is essential working as a Scrum Master because my focus in this role is the optimization of the process or removing obstacles or bottlenecks, basically any constraint for improving the throughput. I worked closely with all my team members, scheduling frequent individual calls to follow up their progress and personal development. I do not shy away when there is a need for improvement for the individual or the team overall, and I've had a lot of different experience, from unsatisfied developers that I've tried to keep in the team and sometimes succeeded, to praising someone for a great job done, promotions, and yearly reviews. For several projects, my role as a product owner or a proxy product owner enabled me to learn effective requirement capturing and translating them to the necessary issue structure workflows, either epics, features, stories, tasks, or bugs. I've developed a best practice approach for defining these product backlog items that is a mix of a user story that is expanded with techniques used for defining use cases, such as the main scenario path and alternative paths, acceptance tests, or acceptance criteria. I worked closely with QA engineers for defining bugs and properly capturing them following a definition of ready with working reproduction steps. I've been smoke testing and sanity checking development applications in QA and UAT environments together with QA engineers. I hope that I'm a fit for this and will be considered for this position. Thank you.